What's good, everybody? You already know what it is, man. It's your boy Alex, along your host for this show, obviously the Blitz Pickup, along with my boys Tony and Lewis. Let me bring the boys up right here. What's good, my dogs?
Yo, 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 what's good?
What up?
We, we got some stuff to cover, fellas. We got a couple topics we gonna hit. So let's get into it, man. Let's talk about the first one. The first thing we want to talk about tonight, bro, is that McDaniel extension. What do we? I'm pretty sure everybody's happy for now, but what's the vibe right now that y'all feeling? Obviously, everything is good at the start of the season, but Lewis, how you feeling about this?
Hey man, listen, I love everything about it. I know the other last episode I was on the should we be calling out McDaniel, and I'm still on that, right? Because I think
That's true, yeah.
I think he does have some flaws and things he should be cleaning up. But bro, I absolutely love the move. I think Miami. I mean, we can go down the record, right? We don't pay a lot of coaches like a second time. We'll hire you and we'll fire you, but we're not handing out second contracts. So 2 years in, I think McDaniel has done enough to deserve the contract. And to be honest, I'm excited that he got it. So
Yeah, Tony Sperano, Adam Gates, who else was before them? Got what's his name? Nick Saban. None of them got a second contract, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? They all came in and they all started hot for the most part, and then they all tailed off. You know what I'm saying? So to see Mike McDaniel have sustained success, at least two, because I don't remember the last one that had two back-to-back successful seasons. It was always like Tony Sperano, he went 11-5, and then boom. You know what I'm saying? Adam Gates, what he was 10-6, and then boom. Nick Saban started off 4-0, 5-0, and lost like 7 straight or something like that. We end up 8-8.
Brian Flores had two back-to-back wins.
Okay, my bad. I see you. Lou got one victory last week. I ain't feel like he know everything. I got you, Lou. Brian Flores, yeah. But to see that they extended him, shows that obviously they approve of the work that he's put in so far, that, you know what I'm saying, they're looking forward to keeping him long term and have some sustainability. You get what I'm saying? So when you stabilize the franchise, at least from the top, you know what I'm saying, you could work on doing the same thing at the bottom because they know what they're getting. Now you could truly build a culture. You get what I'm saying? Now you could start saying, is that a Mike McDaniels, Chris Grier type of guy? You know what I'm saying? What type of guy they're looking for this franchise when you start to lock them up and have some stability in the front office. You know what I'm saying? So when players come to this team, it's now known for its stability. You know what you're getting when you go over there. So you don't have the people that come here and be like, well, I was expecting something else. And then next thing you know, they looking for their first exit out the door because they didn't know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? We're starting to see them put those type of thing in play as far as, okay, when you come to Miami Dolphins, you're going to have the number one facility for player facility. You get what I'm saying? You know that it's built off speed. You know that Mike McDaniel is considered a quote unquote players type of coach. You get what I'm saying?
Sure. And
you also start to understand their different ways of coaching and bringing in players. You know what type of players that Chris Grier, what Chris Grier bring in. You know how much money he's willing to pay out per position. So now when people or players decide to come in, and coaches as well, they understand, okay, this is what culture you're coming into because this is how they've been for whatever amount of years that this however this lasts. But that is, I think, was the most important thing that I took out of that. And them putting them like, okay, we're already setting some up and we want to start what you say, a nice culture around this place.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, as far as it goes with his extension, it lines up perfectly with Tua, as we were talking about. So obviously those are married to the hip. We'll talk about Greer a little bit later or whatever. But that being said, as far as what he's done and, been able to put together this roster along with Greer, what are we thinking about the depth chart as far as where we're at now, the final 53, where we're at? Is there anything that you guys think, we're missing? Are you pretty comfortable with it? Is that something that, maybe we're one missing piece away, but we're, good for now? What do you think, Lewis?
Listen, I think I'm good right now with the roster. You know, I think everybody would always want a piece here, a piece there, whatever it is, right? So I think this roster, you can win with it. Now, that depends if, because realistically, a lot of people like to say our starters now are really backups, right? That's what some people will tell us. So I don't know if people start going down, maybe I start getting a little squirmish, right? But I think as of right now, I feel comfortable, bro. I cannot lie. I would feel better, you know, if maybe OBJ was ready or another wide receiver was on the roster. But listen, for the most part, I think I'm good, dude. I think this team is ready. I think they've been building, right? I think getting Waddle, we talked about Tua getting his extension, Mike McDaniel. Waddle also is here till 2028, right? So I think getting guys done, the coach in place, I think they have identified what works for this football team. I'm gonna put my trust in them, man. I think they're ready. I think it's going to be fireworks from game one. I really do. I think they're gonna try to blow off the doors off Jacksonville, especially Buffalo week 2. But yeah, overall, I'm good with the roster. Could be a piece here, piece there, but I'm not gonna sit here. We're too close to the season, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and complain about it.
And Tony, before you go, man, where are my manners at? Shout out to the chat, man. The chat is always undefeated. Always trying to keep everybody in check. You know what I'm saying? We got, Andreas over here riddling off that Nick Saban did end with 6 straight wins. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the chat, man. Do your thing. Hit the like button. You already know. And just, keep on commenting, man. Let these guys know if they're right, if they're wrong. Fill it in, man, because y'all do a great job at that. But go ahead, Tony.
So first, do we have we got the depth chart? Do we have revision?
Got you.
So yeah, because I don't think it was too many surprises at this point. Been under this regime for going to the 3rd year now. We should, as realistic fans, we should understand what to expect now. You get what I'm saying? Like we have our expectations, but if you want to be realistically, you know what I'm saying, you want to get in realistic expectations. We shouldn't be so surprised if we're unhappy with the O-line. We shouldn't be as surprised that he's willing to invest in edge more than he's willing, edge and DBs more than he's willing to invest in this O-line. You get what I'm saying? So it's just the nature of the game. We shouldn't be surprised at this point of time that we don't have a 6'4", 6'5" guy, you know what I'm saying, that can go up for the ball. So looking at the depth chart, let me see. Okay, I see it right here. Offensively, I say the only thing that might stand out is I see they got Jonnu and Tanner listed as fullbacks, not tight ends.
Crazy.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I do see. So what are we thinking about? Which one you think is running back 3 though? Jeff Wilson or Jayden Wright? The way they got it, you got to pick which one it is at this point. And you know what? This gives me another opportunity to talk to my brother Lewis. You can't get here just be hocus pocus and happy go lucky and agreeing with everything, right? So when I look at this roster, I see Alex, since you wasn't there privy to the argument, who is RB1 there?
Who's RB1?
Mostert. Okay. We already knew Mostert.
We knew that. Hold on, let me finish, Lewis. See that? You know what, Lewis? Let me take a page.
This is a prior.
It's been a setup this whole time, Alex.
he ain't talking about none.
No, but listen. Now, Alex, I want to put you on the spot because me and Lewis had a debate. So, how you think? So, seeing Raheem Mostert, we got Jeff Wilson, we got Jayden Wright. How you think they should handle it with the running backs? I'm more under the lines of you let Raheem Mostert cook for the first, let's say 4, 5, 6 games. You get what I'm saying? Let's say 5 because we got a 6-week, week 6 bye week, and then you start implementing Jayden Wright. You know what I'm saying, in there. And then you say, you know what, Mostert, let these young boys start to get more of a workload, and you can either be there towards the tail end of the season just in case one of these dudes get injured, But at the very least, you will be healthy and fresh. You know what I'm saying? Because he hasn't been healthy for the better part of his career, and I think that's how they should handle. Bring him in. Now I will get Lewis a little bit credit. Jalen Wright looked way better than I initially thought he was going to look.
He does, bro. He does.
So let's get that out front because I know he wanted to go ahead and say something like that. So let me get out ahead of that. But I still believe I'm an old school minded when it comes to how we're going to handle these young players. Let that dude just gradually, slowly, you know what I'm saying, implement him more and more in the game plan. And Lewis, explain how you feel, Lewis. Let them know your side of it, how you think it should go.
Well, again, there was no pushback from that standpoint. I already said Raheem Mostert was going to be RB1, right? I agreed with you. My pushback was, if it was me and I was running this team, I want Raheem Mostert later in the season. I want him fresh because 2 seasons now, late in the season, we're always complaining. We don't run the ball in December and January. Well, Raheem Mostert he didn't play in the playoff game the first year, right? And he was battling stuff late last year. If you mean to tell me I can go into December and January with a fresh Raheem Mostert, right? I would much rather have that because, again, Tony, when we were talking about this with Jalen Wright specifically, the caveat I always threw out was, how fast could he pick up the offense, right?
Right.
And from a running, hitting the hole standpoint, I think we can all, 3 of us would agree, Jalen Wright can do that. Now, Tony, when we were up here, right, and remember we were breaking down the Buccaneer game, what was the first thing I told you about Jalen Wright, Tony, that impressed me?
The vision? Or the
blitz, remember?
Oh, the blitz. When he picked, you know what? When he picked up that blitz, the blitzer, and to acknowledge that blitz
pickup.
Yeah. The way he acknowledged and was able to recognize where the blitz was coming and didn't hesitate to put himself in a compromise position, that was very impressive. I would give him that. That was very impressive.
Bro, stick your nose in there, right? As a rookie, that guy, you're flat-footed. That guy's coming like a bat out of hell on a inside blitz, right? He stood that guy right up. That's what you need right there. And I'm just saying, I think Jalen Wright has tremendous talent that I just don't want it to be going 6 weeks in and Jalen Wright has 15 carries, 20. Nah, bro, this kid is too talented. I think Miami, we've done this over the years, right? It takes a full year, a year and a half. We haven't even seen our rookies even on the field yet, right? We can go down the list. Nah, I think Malik Washington is the same way. I'm not trying to slow play him. Now, I'm not making Malik or Jalen wide receiver 1 and RB1. But nah, bro, I would like to get them involved a little bit more.
Touches.
Right? So that's all I'm saying.
Sooner than later. I prefer, especially, let's say, if Raheem is cooking like he was last year.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, too. Because, like, y'all both make a great point, right? Like, in the beginning, when y'all first said that, I said the selfish fan is saying, yo, dude had 18 tuds. Ride him into the, hey, play the hot hand, how you been doing from back in San Francisco. But then as the conversation developed, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? You obviously got to get these guys all going at the same time.
Right.
The nature of the beast is, hopefully it doesn't happen. Let me knock on wood 3 times before I even say this. The nature of the beast is somebody gets hurt, right? Hopefully it doesn't, and we ride into the, to December, and we got that run game going good. But the reality is sometimes guys get nicked up, sometimes they need a rest, and that is going to say a lot about the offense for when we, are winning by 2-3 scores. You got to get these guys in like a Jalen Wright to get them his touches, because the last thing you want to do is put them on the shelf until December. 2 guys go down back to back, and then it's like, oh shit, all right, bro, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with that. Even though I want to see Raheem Mostert pick up where he left off, the reality is, I mean, I think they're going to run the ball a lot more this year. So I'm hoping that they'll have a nice blend of, HN in there and hopefully Jalen Wright to finish the games to bruise people down. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you want to keep those guys ready. I mean, we saw what happened with Devon HN. I don't think anybody saw him coming in and saying, oh, yeah, he can easily run for 200. When that boy got on the field, it was like, oh, hold on, Mostert. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. But obviously, Mostert is that dude, obviously. But I mean, hopefully, man, hopefully McDaniels, actually, gets these guys right. You know what I'm saying? And not just have them sitting down the whole time. But I mean, I'm with both of y'all, honestly. I mean, you want to ride the hot hand, RB1 is Mostert, but at the same time is don't shelve these guys too long. So I agree with both.
Yeah, I hope what I hope happened, and I think this is what I think they initially wanted to happen when they had the Mostert, they had the Chase what it was Chase Edmonds, and when they brought them in, I think that they wanted to have a 3-man rotation to where all of them could stay healthy. You get what I'm saying? That's what, especially like now when you got two different dynamics now, which is I don't think they initially anticipated having these type of running back. You got the older guy, the savvy veteran, Raheem Mostert. He's got speed and he's tough. He runs tough. You get me? You got the Achane when they want to make more of a playmaker type guy. Get him out in space. Get him them little quick screens. Get him the little wheel routes. Get him the little curve routes and butt hooks, whatever. The little things to get them going, right? And then you got, which could be considered a hammer in Jalen Wright, that's with speed, and he runs tough. You get what I'm saying? So if you could somehow figure out a way to get all three of them and acclimate all three of them in, you know what that's doing? That's keeping Tua healthy. That's not overworking these receivers that seem to be coming in, and we thin that receiver right now. You get what I'm saying? And they could keep them a little bit healthy, you know what I'm saying, going forward. Let them not do as much, and let this running game kind of carry us through the first four or 5 weeks of the game. And when we get that bye week, come off that bye week, and you know what we got coming out the bye week that we usually don't have since we've been in the Mike McDaniel regime? A whole different outlook of the offense. Now let's turn up on the passing. Now let's get Waddle, Tyreek, the John O. Smith of the world. Now let's get these guys and give defense something else to think about now coming off the bye week. And then you ease in OBJ, you know what I mean? And then around that time, that defense should be coming in form. Chubb should be coming back, you know what I'm saying? So if we could get that, that'd be a perfect way for me to say that's how I think they should use them. But think
about this too, guys. Think about this too. When was the last time that we were able to say, I mean, I'm blanking out right now. The last time we were able to say, we got 3 dudes who could probably start on another team right now.
Nigga, never.
We got 3 horses. You got 3 horses back there, bro.
The closest we got was 2.
Was 2 exactly
Ricky and Ronnie Brown. No, I'm saying Ricky and Ronnie Brown.
Well, yeah, correct. Yeah. So to have this luxury, it just goes to show, like, yo, McDaniel is gonna have a deck of cards that he could deal at any moment. Like, yo, I'm gonna hit you with this. I'm gonna hit you with that. We're up by 2 scores. I'm gonna run this bitch the rest of the time. My bad. I'm gonna run it the rest of, so kind of bruise you down. And I mean, this is something that is gonna be a luxury for a guy like McDaniel, and he'll be able to use in his arsenal.
Well, for me, I see. I look at it different when I look at Mostert. 18 rushing touchdown, 21 total.
Yeah, 3 pass receiving.
Most of his damage, I think the only one that was kind of a longer run was the one week 2 against New England to kind of ice the game.
Yeah, ice the game. Yeah.
Everything else was in the red zone, right? I think from the 20s to the 20, that's when I'm using Achane and Jalen Wright the most. Right? Because inside the red zone, that's when I'm going to lean on my veteran, the guy that I have the utmost confidence in, a guy that has been there, 100%. Done that, and especially shown last year that in the red zone, he's an absolute monster, right? But from the 20 to the 20, oh, nah, give me them young thoroughbreds, man. I'm going to open this thing up, and I'm going to let them thoroughbreds outrun people. Then we get in the red zone. Hey, let's calm it down. Let's settle in. Raheem, come in here. Let's do your thing. That's how I would do it. But again, I think everybody's made some pretty good points.
You know what, Lewis? Your faith in Jalen Wright kind of make me say nah, because we see how he look in the red zone. Quick hitter, find the hole, squeeze through it. So he
falls forward.
I wouldn't be opposed to use him in the red zone as well.
Even Achane, bro, is a little squeaky guy that can get through holes and stuff in the red zone. Absolutely.
But yeah,
it's a great problem to have, bro.
Hey,
it's a great problem to have.
I can't see the defense though, Alex.
Do we have any? I got you. Let me scroll down. Yeah, I got you. Give me a second here. I don't think hold on, give me a second as I say that. There we go. Boom. Yeah. So the defense. Let me go. Boom. I got you. There you go. Yeah.
So
So is it updated on? Yeah. You go.
yeah. The only thing, Lou, I don't know if you could write. The only thing that I'm looking at this and I'm like, only thing give me a cause for concern. I ain't gonna say only thing, but one of the things that stood out to me, right? If we look at the DB situation, they only have Cater Cole slotted to be the nickel.
And the nickel.
Yeah.
So if you want to, okay, what are we doing when Cater Cole had to come out for a breather, or he needed a player to what are we doing? Is that the time? Because I trust. You know what? I can't wait till we start breaking down some of his film. I trust Ethan Bonner to a certain degree. He's still learning, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I was watching the preseason game against the Falcons, and I noticed something when they was running that matchup zone, and your key is to, let's say you got 1-2. They got two by two formation. They got two receivers over, two receivers, or receiver and tight end over there. So when you're doing a matchup zone, that outside guy, right? He's more of that number one is yours unless he do something. Let's say unless he go out, or unless he go short or he go in, that'll be yours. That middle dude, either the nickel, the safety, or whoever they got, majority of the time is gonna be the nickel, which I saw Ethan Bonner in this role. He's the one that keys on 2 and 1. Majority is the second, right? And I see him get fooled because he pulled up on the number one, right? He pulled up on the note and got a jam on him. And the number one looked like he was doing like a crosser, but he ended up going like back out in his zone, and Ethan Bonner got fooled. And he went to that number 2 guy because that number 2 guy came in his area, which if you think about the matchup zone, that's not your responsibility down there, bro. Your responsibility is back here. And he was, I can't wait to show that, man, that tight end was wide open. They just threw the screen, which means he was already predetermined to get the screen and miss completely. And I'm like, oh, which is something that we probably, we ain't gonna, we might have to say that for when we start a Patreon to start getting more depth of why things are happening. Why did that, what was his responsibility, certain things like that. So I'm more of, that's the problem that I would have as young guys that, I'm saying, not only is this the first season, like getting full game reps and like a full-time starting or backup role, but also this is our first year in there, and you will want more of 7 veteran guys. Do you think, Lewis, and this is the question I wanted to ask you, you think that they should, like, if Cater need rest, should they trust in Siran Neal over Ethan Bonner when it comes to that situation, or what are you thinking on that situation?
The way we are currently, I know probably this is going to get people crazy. I'm putting Ethan Bonner
on the boundary. Okay.
And I'm moving Jalen Ramsey inside.
So you putting Jalen Ramsey in it?
He's done it before. He's done it before.
I think Jalen Ramsey in this defense is going to be able to move all over, right?
Correct.
You want to, and even if you didn't want to do that, I know it's not going to be popular. I would probably move Javon Holland, bring him down, and maybe throw Elijah Campbell back there, or LaMarcus Mays of the world, or whoever, right?
You know what?
That's what I would do, right? I don't think I'm trusting. Not that I don't trust Ethan Bonner, but I just think Ethan, he's more of a boundary
He's too green.
guy. Yeah,
he's too green too.
I just think he's a boundary guy. Keep him out there. My opinion, that's what I would do, Tony. Initially, right? I would probably tell Jalen Ramsey, "Hey, homie, you're gonna play in this star role anyway. This X role where we're gonna put you all over the field. Why not do it now?" You know what I'm saying? Cater needs a rest. That's what I'm doing. I'm putting Bonner to the outside in the boundary, and I'm moving Jalen Ramsey inside.
You know what? I just when you said Harlan, something clicked. Isn't Anthony Weaver known for running 3 safeties like that?
Absolutely.
I didn't think
does it in
about that
Baltimore.
until you mentioned that.
He
So
would
you
let
know
Kyle
what?
Hamilton do his thing.
That might be you bring in
That's
Elijah
what-
Campbell because you
Right.
trust Elijah Campbell more. You know what? I ain't think about it. That you bring in Elijah Campbell and you trust Campbell, Hollins, and a Jordan Poyer on the field at the same time, rather than have a Ethan Bonner. That's yeah. I'm more comfortable with that. Yeah, I'm more comfortable with that situation than as opposed to because I went and watched it. And I'm like, oh wait, we don't need this because a veteran quarterback is not just going to be sitting down on that screen. He's going to see that guy running wide open. And now when you get to see, you understand what they mean, miscommunication. You know what I'm saying? That's something that when you start a new defensive scheme, especially when it's matchup zone, when it's, you're predicated on certain route combinations and, you have specific areas based on what they're running. Those are when your communication have to be on point, which I think will Jordan Poyer would be big for that type of leadership and understanding of these defensive schemes and stuff like that. But I think to me that's the only thing that I noticed.
Benjamin brought it up
Exactly
too.
what we said. Yep.
Yeah, just with like they used Hamilton last year with the Ravens.
Oh, okay,
Just
yeah,
like
for
that.
sure. All right, so
Yeah, man, for sure. I mean, go ahead, Tony.
No, I was trying to see if I had any pushbacks on the. I think that's to me that was the only thing that stood out to me for which I think about Jaden Phillips penciling in at number 1. How much you think we're gonna use him? Starting up, let's say first 5 games before pre bye week, pre-bye week.
Okay, I'm just gonna be honest, right? I think you need Jaden Phillips versus Jacksonville and versus Buffalo week 2. When I look at Seattle, I don't think you really need them like that. When I look at Tennessee, I don't think you really need them like that. And then after the bye week, what, New England?
Before the bye week, New England, the Patriots.
I think you can get by over there as well without like a Jalen Phillips, in my opinion. Now, I would like to see Jalen Phillips. I think you do need him against Jacksonville, against Buffalo. I would say you need him more than the other games.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't sleep on Seattle, so I wouldn't say. And me and
you need to set that edge.
Yeah, and Walker the third, I wouldn't sleep on him. And this is my bias take, you know what I'm saying? Me and Alice paid a lot of money to get them tickets to go to Seattle. I want to
shit.
I want to see all the boys.
No, but you're right though. You're right. You kind of want to keep them like on a semi-snap count. As soon as we win it, but that's the thing. See, with defense, as soon as we're winning, they want to be out there even more because they know they can pin their ears back and they're going at it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, are we really comfortable with Quinn Bell setting the edge like that? I mean, because them boys can run up there too.
Yeah. So I mean, but realistically speaking, as long as you get in the production, I think Alba gonna hold it down. So I'm not really worried about that. But as long as you have the Chop Robinsons of the real and the Mo Camara being able to at least hold their own, then you keep Javon. Jalen Phillips on a snap count for as long as you need it. I don't care if you give them, let's just say 30% of the snaps, 40% of the snaps, all the way until after the bye week to make sure he's fully healed. I'm not opposed to that either because we're like we want to have our players for the long haul toward the end of the season.
100%.
Every season up prior to the past 2 seasons, we've been front runners. We've been September, you feel me? Type of guys, September, October, November type guys, and then December, January. Now you're getting the injuries. Now people are getting wore down, and the offense don't look the same. Offensive line is not the same. You know what I'm saying? So I hope to me, I'm looking at us coming in injured and helping our players to get better. I'm looking at it as a blessing in disguise to where now we'll have our players coming back toward the tail end of the season as opposed to we're losing guys left and right at a record pace. So I'll just look at that to me as a blessing in disguise. That's how I look at it.
And to your point, Tony, too, that's that on that same token was look at when he got hurt. You know, it was literally the week right before December started. You know what I'm saying? So it was that Jets game, and it was later on in the season. So I mean, we really gotta fine tune these guys and make sure that they're gonna be available, man, because he's gonna be a big piece if we want to go far, obviously. Rashad said, "Hold on, y'all coming to Seattle too? Come on, man, outside, bro.
I'm not.
Tony, let him know, bro.
I'm not coming to Seattle because I knew Rashad was gonna be there, and I don't want to be nowhere."
Wait, you taking Rashad to that street? It start with a. You know what? Let me leave that alone.
you know where that street is, Tony. You know where that street is.
Maybe I heard wrong. I was just trying to figure it out. You feel me? Oh,
that's just funny. That's funny. I mean, on that note, do we want to talk about anything on this roster real quick? Because I wanted to bring something up on the topic of DBs. If y'all want to still go through this, or are we good?
Right
with the depth chart.
The depth chart, we pretty much good with the depth chart. You know, I think we
okay.
Not too many surprises.
So to go back on the topic that we were talking about, at corner, and obviously if one of them goes down, we got Jalen Ramsey that could pop in and do his thing or whatever. But there was a video service today of a certain corner. I'm gonna call him a Dolphins legend because that's what he is. Xavier Howard. Listen, hey, listen.
I had a jersey on last week, so
I was gonna say, don't disrespect him. To me, man, that man, he's a beast. But look, man, he looks healthy. I think he made a mistake, man, personally, with trying to chase that money and then kind of backtrack that. He's healthy though. So, what do you guys think of giving him a shot? Like, if somebody does go down, or we do get in some kind of predicament, assuming he's still available.
You want to take that, Lou, or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
So me, my personal opinion, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I was just saying how I don't trust. I'm a Xavier Howard fan. Y'all see, I got the jersey, so that's me. And I'm always one that preach. Hey, listen, it's logo before players. However, considering the circumstances, right, and considering I just. Which is nice segment, Alex. You getting better at this, you know what I'm saying? Should I just show I showed some concerns with Kader Kohou, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Interchange now. I don't think neither one of us have a problem interchanging Ramsey with Howard with Fuller with Ramsey. I don't think either one of us would have. I mean, this is
that would be fire.
This is all predicated on him still being able to do it, him staying healthy, and a big key component that I want to bring into this, he got to come back on the vet minimum. If he come back on 100%. The vet minimum, I'm like, you know what? I'm not opposed to it because, bro, especially on like a 1-year deal. You know what I'm saying? I know the relationship probably be too far gone, but listen, man, money talk. Nobody wants you right now. You still have opportunity. Not only are you playing for us for the 1 year, but you putting on film showing that you still got it. It's another way in for the league because let's be honest, he probably hasn't been signed yet, or at least brought in for visits because you want to send photos to certain, and the league they frown upon stuff like that. So maybe that'd be a problem, but. I have some stipulations, but bro, I ain't, man. Listen, I'm a Xavier Howard fan. This is one time when I take my hat off and say, yo, listen, man, if he's willing to do it, bring him in here. That's my boy. I don't care what nobody say about it, but we'll see. That's how I feel about it. What's up?
So real quick, the dead cap, because I think he cost $11.5 million against the dead cap, correct?
Yep.
That's money he's getting from us, right? Regardless.
If it's 11,
yeah.
So we brought him in. I would be with you, Tony. It would have to be for the league minimum because now you're double dipping, right?
Like the thing about that, yep.
Yeah.
You're already paying $11.5 million, and now you give them what's the league minimum 1.2. So now you're almost 12.5, almost 13 million, right? And I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm with Tony, though, in the aspect, and Alex, I'm an Xavier Howard fan, right?
Right.
There are some things, though, that he said when on the way out, like when he did that interview and he said, I want to go play for a contender.
Yeah.
That's taking a shot, bro. And at the end of the day, when I look at it,
that is true.
No contender has reached out to you. Now, we don't know what it is. Could be for the videos that Tony. I wanted Tony to elaborate a little bit on those video pictures, but I'm gonna leave it alone. But
it's a PG channel, man.
But I don't know why no other team have reached out to him, right? But the fact is, he's out there. No one's reached out to him, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know. Those kind of comments when on the way out, it did rub me the wrong way. But again, listen, for where we are, looking at the depth chart still, there are some question marks. If you're telling me I could get an Xavier Howard for a league minimum, yeah, I think I'm making that call. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to hold it against him, but is he even healthy? Because I seen Benjamin ask it in the chat. Is he hurt or something?
Well, I don't know.
That boy was squatting 3 plates on each side. That boy, he looked like he ready. He put that out for a reason.
Because he was dealing with a groin, right? So I don't, I'm quite sure it don't take that long to heal from a groin. Also, Lewis, to your point with the taking shots and, I'm with you with that, right? But we're running a business here. It's business. It's never personal, strictly business. And you just listen, by that 11 point, whatever it is alone, bro, we paying you. You might as well come work for it. Come earn that 11, whatever we give you. Come on, put that on the field. This is strictly business. And you know what? We both could benefit from it. We have another savvy veteran in there. We don't need you because we brought in Fuller. And then so you're going to have to come in here and play a role. We know Jalen Ramsey, one of our star players, one of his main reasons for coming here because he wanted to always play with X. He took a shot at, don't forget, he took a shot too at Benjo. I'll never forget you for what you did. You get what I'm saying? I'll never forgive you. That was him. So we know that one of our star defenders that we're going to depend on early to get, everybody acclimated to this scheme, right? We're going to depend on early. We know he'll be more than happy to bring him in. So from a business standpoint, bring him on in here, get that. And guess what? Next year, that's your way inside, and maybe another team take a fly on you if you do well here. And then, we both got what we want. Hopefully, it leads us to AFC Championship, Super Bowl, possibly. And, what I'm saying? The Dolphins at the same time made that next step towards being an upper echelon franchise. So, hey, it's all strictly business. That's how I look at it.
What would they do though? Because I'm not gonna lie, it would hurt my heart though if we did bring him back and not to see X in 25.
Jalen, hey, the rookie Jalen, listen, man, listen.
hey, Jalen gonna be like, my boy, I'm here for the long haul. I don't know about you.
That's a fact.
Listen,
that will be weird. That will be weird. To be continued on that for sure.
Wait, who win number 21?
21 is Poyer.
Yeah.
John Poyer, well, he could keep
all
that.
The 20s are taken. Yeah.
Hey, listen, man. Hey.
Somebody,
what Jalen? What
39?
Hey, man, I can't do it. Hey, that rook don't have to come up off that. That rook don't have to come up. I'm sorry, man. I know you seniority, baby.
Hey, Lewis.
I'm still a part of team, but I'm not.
Hey, they're gonna think he's Storm Duck out there on the sideline.
37, I think 37.
Yeah, 37. That's crazy.
I said, hey, no. Hey, what?
I'm not gonna lie, kind of. Hey, listen, bro.
Hey, listen, my bell ward.
You wouldn't tell the difference.
Hey, listen,
yeah. That was a thumper.
What about?
That's funny. Bro.
What Jalen Wright had on in college? What number he had?
Damn, what number was he at Tennessee?
What was he?
I want to say he was 5 for some reason, huh? Jalen Wright.
Hey, listen, man. Oh, he can't get that 5. You can hang that up, dude. Yeah, you better.
No, you can hang that up for sure.
Yeah,
he was 0. Oh wow, he was 0.
Hey, he was 0. Yeah.
Hey, Barrios, listen, man.
Yeah.
Listen, we bring him.
Barrios. Oh, bro.
Let me get that up off.
Bring that ass here, boy.
That's crazy.
Bring that ass here, boy.
Let me get that up off you, my boy. Yeah, no,
I'm not taking your playbook, but I'm taking your number. So pick one.
Look what Stress 5 say. Look what number X was in college. Kato, listen, Kato.
That's crazy.
Oh, man.
Hey, listen,
that's
man.
Wild, bro.
Hey, man, listen.
Hey, that boy got no doors. That boy got no doors. Man.
Listen, man, it's strictly business, man. Don't take none of this personal. It's business. You feel me? But yeah, no,
Hey,
No, I ain't.
That's
did y'all
crazy.
hear that on a side note? I think it was yesterday's press conference where Mike McDaniel said he told the reporters he wasn't going to start the interview until every door was shut.
I heard that, but was it true though?
I watched the man say it.
Oh, I see. All
I know, Tony, the
Was he being
last coach,
sarcastic? You mean?
you know what? All I know is, was he taking a shot? Because the last time I heard of doors getting closed in the Dolphin building, you know who that was, Tony.
White beaters. Oh,
walking around with a white beater and some house shoes.
Yo.
Hey, hold on, Benjamin. What you
That's
mean,
crazy.
Ben? We ain't we saying them boys got to come off that jersey for X. We not disrespecting him. We saying, hey, we gonna figure out a way to get X that dude 5. Hey, listen, I got a jersey here. Hey, X, I'm not changing my number.
Yo, so this is why the chat is undefeated, because it throws us off script for a second. And this is a question that's a very, very, very good question.
No,
and I want to hear you talk about
I know you're going to KP, right? I knew it. I've seen
it. Listen, and the reason I say it is because it actually is something that I think people want to hear from you guys is this roster better than last year's? I mean, y'all could go from the depth wise, y'all can go from the new players that we got. What do you think, Tony?
You want me to go? Well, defensively, I think yes, without question, especially when we get everyone back healthy. I'm 100% happy with the improvements that we did in the additions to this defense. It's from a mentality standpoint, from a talent standpoint, from even a stability standpoint, to where you have people that are known to stand on business. You get what I'm saying? The Jordan Brookses are real. The Anthony Walkers are the real. The Jordan Poyers, he's good for the locker room. You know what I'm saying? That type of leadership and mentality we was lacking. I mean, we was hoping Jalen Ramsey had it, but he seems to fit more and into that role now this year with the acquisitions of a Jordan Poyer and all that. You get what I'm saying? Like he feels like he have them dogs in the building with him now, to where he could talk his trash. You get? So defensively, I would say yes. Offensively, I'm not gonna lie, the O-line, and plus starting off the season with 4 wide receivers, well now 5 because the both, but I'll say I'll wait to see, because I like what we did with the Jonnu Smiths. We do have an H-hand back. Yeah. And then as well as bringing in Malik Washington,
Jalen Wright,
yeah, right. So I would say to be determined on that. So I would say, if I had the gun to my head right now, I would say yes. And the reason I would say yes, because if I go back to it, I like the talent of Malik Washington, his versatility over River Craycraft, which he got injured, over Braxton Berrios, even though he's still here. And this is predicated on if Eazy-E could somehow get on the field, I'm taking the Eazy-E, Waddle, Tyreek, Malik Washington over Waddle, Tyreek, Robbie Chosen, River Craycraft,
OBJ.
And no. OBJ this year too when he get here. So I'm taking those guys over the guys we had last year. So as it stand right now, injuries and all, I'll say push. But when we get those guys back, I'll say yes. I'm taking yes. The offensive line is the only thing that I would say I'm not, because you can't replace. We didn't replace a Robert Hunt. We still haven't replaced even though it's let's see how Aaron Brewer perform before we say, because he's not going to be on Connor Williams level. Connor Williams is the number 1 rated center, so we could get that out of there. But let's just see if Patrick Paul pans out. Now we have more stability at tackles, because Kendall Lamb is a swing tackle, so he could on both sides. So saying talent, like based on talent, and ability, I'll say we could possibly have one, but I'm not 100% sold on the offense yet. So I'll keep that at a push for right now.
What do you think, Lewis?
That's what I'm looking for, potential with the offense.
Yeah, listen, it's hard for me to disagree with Tony here. I think in
hold on, bro. What are we doing today?
I forgot about Calais Campbell. Dang.
It's crazy. That's what I'm saying. I was trying the whole time, Alex, he was talking. I was trying to think of ways I could disagree, but it's hard, bro.
No, I feel you.
Listen, in certain positions, I would say most definitely we have upgraded, right? Like when I look at the linebacker position, even though
I
we
don't
haven't
think Brooks
seen
and Baker's a
Anthony,
wash. I don't know about that.
I think Brooks is
Who said that?
defense that we're running, right? I think Brooks for the
The Chat's
defense that we're
undefeated.
running. No, the chat is definitely wrong on that. But no, Brooks, listen, I think Brooks is an upgrade in this defense. I don't think Jerome Baker is as aggressive as Jordan Brooks is, right? Man, is the roster better than last year's? To start off the season, this is where I'll disagree with Tony. Going into last season, I thought that roster was better than this one. Overall, right? When I looked at everything, again, you were going in with the top-rated center in the league in Connor Williams. He's no longer here. Robert Hunt, right? Isaiah Wynn was healthy. You look at this offensive line now. Basically, your interior is all new. For the most part, from last year to go from 1 year to the next, and you're telling me your center guard is all new. Listen, it's I don't know if they're worse. Let me kind of retract. I don't know if they're worse. I just, for me, going into the season this year, there's a couple more question marks that I have than last year.
So you saying you were more comfortable with at the beginning with the roster last year than you are?
I think going into the season, I was more comfortable with last year's roster.
But let me throw you this caveat, Lewis, and
more the help
before you finish that though, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people knew that the drop off from Mostert to Jeff Wilson Jr. was going to be slight, but nobody thought Achane was going to be what he was. So I feel like we have that Monday morning quarterback, like, oh, we were fired because this and that and that. The O-line, 100%.
Nobody, that's a good point.
Debate that. But I feel like there was a lot of questions at receiver. I feel like there was a lot because pass our two guys, that was it, and running back. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I think you're spot on about that. I think you're able to retract on some pieces for the simple fact that we already know what happened with that squad and we already know what they had. So
yeah. Well, even when I look at it though, right? Like from a pass rush standpoint, last year I felt very comfortable with Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, AVG, Agba, and stuff.
Wilkins,
right?
Yeah, but Calais Campbell, I think that's a wash.
Calais Campbell could be a wash, right?
I can see that.
But I don't think, as much as I like Chop, right, and I think he's going to be good, when we start off the season, Chop is not better than Andrew Van Ginkel.
No, I don't. No, I'll agree with you on that. His potential is way better.
But way better.
Yeah. The ceiling is higher.
When we start the season, what we were just talking about 10 minutes ago, about setting the edge, right?
Yeah.
Players, AVG set that edge, boy.
That boy
weren't
nice.
running outside of AVG, and I'm just saying, like, so again, I don't want to say that this last year's roster was so much better than this year's. They're very comparable. It's just, to answer the question and not sound like an echo chamber in here, because I hate agreeing with Tony. I'm gonna say no. That last year's roster, in my opinion,
you couldn't go one episode without taking a loss. I get it. I mean, it's in your nature. Got you for sure.
I'm sure that's something. Go ahead.
Channel? Are you talking about on this channel?
It is, man.
I've never lost on this channel. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, you sound like the people that get locked up, man. I ain't do it.
What you in for, man? You walked right into that one. You stupid. Hey, man. Listen, man. This is obviously a question that's gonna. I'm sure it'll come up later. Obviously, end of the season, we'll look back and do the same thing that we did. Did Chop, end up being his, potential as a first round pick in the first year? How did the running back room look? Yada yada yada. Obviously, but speaking of rosters, right? We know we got into it. We know, McDaniel's tied to the hip pretty much. Does Chris Grier get to ride his success? That's the next topic. Does he get to ride his success of those two gentlemen for the simple fact that he built the roster? Like, how do we feel? Like, obviously, a GM is supposed to, say, I did this. Without me picking the players, we wouldn't have this. But, I mean, and it's easy to say, but how do you guys feel about that? Do you feel, that he he gets to reap those benefits and use that to his advantage mostly, or what do you think, Lewis?
I think I think Chris Greer's job is safe. Now I don't wanna say that he's tied to McDaniel or Tua or nothing like that. I don't think so. Right? If I could be wrong. That's just me though. I don't think he's tied. But do I think he will be here is a different question. Yes, I do think he will be here. Because at the end of the day, bro, listen, he drafted Tua, he hired McDaniel, he drafted Waddle. Look at it. That was the title of the show today, the big three. When I look at it, that to me, that's the big three because those are the guys that we have locked up that's going to be here long term. Right? It's McDaniel, it's Tua, it's Waddle. That's your foundation. When you start a house, you build it from the ground up. I think they have identified those guys. So I don't think Chris Greer, to answer your specific question, Alex, I don't think he's tied to him, but I do think he will be here, right? But again, worst case scenario, and I'm knocking, right? But if the Dolphins go 4-13 this season, could Chris Greer be gone?
Boy.
Could Chris Greer be gone? Possibly, but I don't think that means that Mike McDaniel's gone just as Chris Greer's gone. So I'm just going to the extreme to kind of illustrate my point. I don't think he's tied to him, but I do think he'll be here. But if things don't work out, could Chris Greer be on the move? Absolutely.
What do you think, Tony?
I think based on when you initially brought this question, right, it's like, okay, Mike McDaniel's 3-year extension, Tua 4-year extension, Tyreek Hill what till 2026, 27, Jalen Waddle 28. All those contracts start to end at the same time, around the same time. You know what I mean? So when I look at it from that standpoint, I do believe that Chris Greer's his job is going to be tied to Mike McDaniel towards success. You know that you chose that coach. Cause let's think about it, bro. You brought in how many coach? This is third coach, right? Or is it Brian Flores? Is it only Brian Flores?
Brian Flores.
I think it's Gase.
Gase was the first one, right?
Yeah, Gase, Flores, and McDaniel. Yep.
So that's your third. I mean, how many coaches do you need? You know what I'm saying? Before we start saying, well, bro, you just ain't good at this. 3 strikes and you out. Baseball say that.
Mm-hmm.
And they hitch they whack into Tua. You know what I mean? So you drafted them, so you know what I mean, you hitched the right to Tua, so that I think that plays a part. And then you bought in Tyreek, and then which is your big acquisition, the Jalen Ramsey. So looking at their contract and how they all are like similar until when they're ending or when they have outs, I think that might be inside play of let's see how this roster as currently constructed with the core players panned out, and that is what Stephen Ross is looking at based on saying, okay, we like the success, so we're going to reward you. All right, let's get all them boys, all them y'all getting paid to show them that we believe in y'all. But now you have to get it done, because afterwards, if you don't get it done, we paid y'all, we bought in the talent, we invested in everything that for the most part of what y'all asked. Now y'all have to get it done, or it'll be a failure, and which is what we don't want as fans. But at some point, even as a season ticket holder, I'm going to be like, but at some point, we can't continue to say, well, next year, and let's give them more opportunity. By that time, that's more than enough time to at least see some gradual, some sustainable success based on playoff success, based on, winning playoff games and being continue to win the Super Bowl or possibly make it to the Super Bowl year in, year out. You know what I mean? You're in year 3. All your players came back offensively for the most part, 3 years. At that point, majority of them are going to be 4 to 5 years in this franchise. And if y'all aren't able to get it done, then I think Stephen Ross will have either contemplating selling the team or tearing it down to the studs, because I think that would be more than enough time and opportunity to see if we could keep this, and this regime is worth keeping for the long haul. You know,
but you don't think there would be a scenario where Chris Grier could be out while McDaniel stayed here?
I would like for that to happen, Lou. Yes, I would. But let me throw another question at you. So I think it's a possibility. But what if the next GM he comes in and say, "No, I don't want Mike McDaniel's or two. I want to bring my own," because he felt with them, and I don't think I could win with them either.
Well, Tony, staying on that. I'm sorry, Lewis. You went. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead, Alex.
Okay, I'm trying to bring something up for you guys because I was going to bring this up earlier, and I just remembered as we're talking about who's landing where and who's staying. Let me actually show you guys this, and let me. I want your reactions on this. Give me a second. Here. Boom. Let me share this, and let me go here. Listen to this real quick, and y'all let me know how y'all feel about this.
I think it's a Mike McDaniel conversation. Like, this is the guy who's going to get them there. And there's a cool kids club of young coaches right now that he should be in. For all he represents as an original personality, original perspective, great backstory, incredible future. Mike McDaniel should be a celebrated story in this league. The best coaches win playoff games. And typically, they do it by their third season. This is season 3 for Mike McDaniel. We have had 2 wild card losses. Guys, Dan Campbell, year 3, title game. Kyle Shanahan, year 3,
it's crazy.
Bowl. Zach Taylor.
Watch what I got after this. When you cut me off.
Year 2, Super Bowl. Year 3, Mike. We love the eccentricities, the personality, and the ingenuity on offense. It's incredible. It's a couple wild card losses. You have Tua entering his prime. You have Tyreek, maybe in the last year of his prime. We don't know. You've got young players everywhere, and you, more importantly, are entering your prime. You're settled in. We are now over how you dress and how you talk. You're just part of the conversation. You're part of the family, but he is not part of the cool coach.
Now, obviously, he just goes on to ramble. At the end of the day, this guy is a Bills fan, so you got to take lightly what he says, yada, yada, yada. But, I mean, he is part of that little fraternity. You know what I'm saying? So,
but listen,
it kind of got me thinking, even though he made that little point. But go ahead.
And I believe Lewis, I don't know if you was in a space. This was a while ago. I heard in Spaces, right? And then you go do your research on it. Head coach, quarterback comparison. If they don't win a Super Bowl within their first 5 years, no quarterback and head coach tandem has ever won a Super Bowl after that. So,
that was the main grab about Josh Allen. Remember we were talking about that last season?
So, think about that when y'all think about that. Go do your history and go do your research. Mm-hmm. You have 5 years from head coach to quarterback. Now, if you interchange one, let's just say you switch the head coach, it starts over. But from the time that they become coach and quarterback, if they don't win a Super Bowl within year 5, it doesn't happen. That's history telling y'all that.
Crazy.
So, them 2 more years, we got this year, next year, and 2026, and at them time is when you're gonna, like I say, I think Stephen Ross is gonna have to start making some decisions on whether this regime is what we need to go forward and be a consistent contender year in and year out. Do we have the right football minds in the building? So those are if now this is all predicated if we not successful. If they don't start being successful and not just making playoffs, is when you gotta, because at the end of the day, what we want to do, you go step by step. They say you gotta crawl before you walk. Then when you start walking, now you gotta learn how to run. You know what I mean? So we're in the walking stage. We walked into a great season back to back. Now we got to see if we're able to run and get to that next level, because you don't want to be stagnant when it comes to constantly improving and how the direction that this franchise is going. You want to always be on an upward trend, right? So just going to the playoffs and losing, it's not what word I'm looking for? That's not acceptable anymore. We're not accepting just going to the playoffs because we done been there. Yeah. We've been there 2 years straight. We understand that, but now we need to see more improvement. The same way we want to see our players improve game in, year out. We need to see this franchise improve year in, year out, because there's only so much you could tell us as a fan base to say, well, nah, bro. You know what I mean? Y'all know how we do with the U and what we do with the Heat. No, bro, all that just going to the playoffs that's not good enough for us anymore. We know y'all can do that, but we need championship.
So what's your expectation then, Tony, and Alex,
this
for
year?
the season then?
This year for me, Lou, this year minimum AFC Championship game. That means either two.
Listen, you're not crazy for saying that. You're not crazy for saying that.
Either two, right, or win a division, get a first round bye, right, get the number one seed, and win one playoff games. But for me, it's AFC Championship game. You know what I mean?
And so if they don't go to the AFC Championship game, then are you talking about heads rolling?
No. So now, if they win a playoff game, and let's just say they lose a close one, I'd be like, okay, cool. But it ain't good enough.
The story. It's
cool, but it ain't good enough. You get what I'm saying? I'm still gonna be a little bit disappointed, but I'm not gonna say, all right, heads got to roll now, because you at least that is some. You talk about men being satisfied. Now, if they go, listen, I don't care how much they pay them and how much that extension is. If they go in there and lose first round, yes, I want heads to roll. Them heads by the start, let 100%. The bodies hit the floor. I'm sorry.
100%.
I'm not. No.
100%. And what heads are you looking for?
See now that right there, I know people ain't gonna like it, right? That's Chris Greer. Yeah. That's Chris Greer.
Well, and see, that's right there. That's where I was getting at, because the question was asked: does Chris Greer
is he tied to right? Which is
not though, because to your point,
you know what? In a way, because what I was gonna finish with is, I'll let the next GM decide whether he want to keep Mike McDaniels in Tua. I'll let him do that. So 100%. Yeah, you right on that, Lewis. 100% tied into him? No, because I think that there is, to your point, there is a scenario that I see that Chris Greer's gone, but Mike McDaniel and Tua is still here. It's still here. So yes, I do see a scenario where that can happen. I'll give you
that is true.
Sure. Yeah.
What about Lewis? Now you just asked Tony? What are your expectations then for the year, for you not to be calling for heads?
Listen, AFC Championship game should be, again, without any catastrophic injuries, right? Like if we
injuries and all this year. We said that last year.
There's context every year. That's the problem. But go ahead, yeah.
I don't know, man. It would be tough. But
you just did. That should sound clear there.
Who, me?
Yeah, whatever you just did, that thing came in fire.
Hey, man. Hey, listen, at the end of the day, I would say AFC Championship game. I know there's injuries and stuff. Again, if there's injuries, I can give it a pass, bro. Like, if it's one or two injuries, I would say no. If we're doing something like what we looked like last year, like if you're down your two starting pass rushers, your safety is in and out of the lineup, your wide receivers banged up, both of them, your running back, like, bro, I'm sorry, no team is overcoming that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's true.
So I can give them a pass there, but listen, I do think AFC Championship game should be the expectations, and that's where I'll go. It is encouraging, though. We heard the coaching tree under Mike McDaniel. All those guys either made championship games or Super Bowls within 3 years. I think that's a very good point. I hadn't seen that interview, Alex, but yeah, bro, listen, at the end of the day, it's time to put up and shut up. I love everything about Mike McDaniel. You know, again, I was talking about him the other episode. He kisses all the babies and he's smacking all the asses, right? And I love him for it. But now those wins got to start coming up, man. So,
yeah, 100%.
You know, AFC Championship could be the goal.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe people think that's a high bar, not just one person. I'm talking about in general. Maybe people, but if you really think about it, like, when finally then with this roster, with a healthy Tyreek, you know, how many more years are you going to get excellence out of him? You know, it just, that's one example. You got Jalen Ramsey, you know, the clock's ticking. It's definitely something that you can't just keep pushing forward, because every team is going to have an injury, you know, here and there. And that talks about, once again, the depth that Chris Greer has built, right? Obviously, that shows on him, you know, so. But hey, listen, man, I feel like it's Groundhog Day talking about that. But I think this is our best year to be set up the way we are. And I mean, hopefully it comes through. But speaking of players, we have two players, obviously, that are going to look
before you get that,
top
let
of
me ask
mind.
you one question before you go. Do y'all think, and I don't think so, but do y'all think Mike McDaniel should consider giving up play calling?
No.
No.
No, I don't think so. I think he's got to do exactly what Sean McVay. If you are designing this shit and doing it, I think he just has to get better at it. You know, his play calling situations and shit like that. But
because Bam,
I mean,
posed the question, so I wanted to ask it.
No, that's a good question because I was actually going to bring this up a couple weeks ago. We have a guy who called plays in a Super Bowl, Seattle versus New England.
Darrell Bevell.
Darrell
Bevell.
If you see what that happened, you see what happened though.
We see what happened. But everybody knows, and he has said it as well. Marshawn has said it as well that was Pete. That was all Pete. So I don't know. So be careful. I mean, so I don't know. It's easy to say that, but I mean, Tony, maybe you're onto something. I mean, maybe his situational. You know, he just gets too excited. You know, I think we're gonna see it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but that's a great question, though. I think it's definitely something to look for. If we hit a rocky bump or whatever, to see if maybe that's something he's got to reconsider.
All right, I just want to throw that one in there. Throw that little monkey wrench in there.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I like Mike McDaniel being the play caller. I'm not changing that one bit.
Me too, Lewis. I just seen stretch Bam.
Yeah.
So I say it was a question that
Listen, at the end of the day, bro. Listen, 2 years ago we were ranked 6th in the offense. Last year we were number 1. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Got it. That's a great point. Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's facts. Now, the last topic that I wanted to bring up, obviously, is we got 2 players that we're looking at or our own to pay. And everybody has seen, how Chris Grier does with, paying people. I'll put it on y'all, and whoever wants to go first can go first. Assuming they both have stellar seasons, right? Stellar seasons. Jaelan Phillips, double-digit sacks. Javon Holland gets you, a couple turnovers, more than 3 at least. Who are we paying?
In multiple games, though? Because he got 3 in one game, and that was it.
Yeah, I'm talking about more than that.
You got to be specific. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. 5 plus. I don't know, whatever. But let's just say they both have stellar seasons. We obviously know this is a pass rushers league. We obviously know that Chris Grier could draft safeties. I mean, obviously, we know who's going to be cheaper, but who are you guys picking and why?
I'm taking Jaelan Phillips.
Okay.
Look how I got.
Oh, you do that right?
He was ready to jump out his seat. He was ready to jump.
We were for the
he must have dancing.
This whole it was gonna go outside. Me and Lewis for the takeoff. Okay, go ahead, Lou.
No, I'm taking Jaelan Phillips, bro. Again, Alex just hit on it. Pass rusher, right? Still young. Look at what he just overcame, tearing the Achilles. 9 months later, he's talking about he's fully healthy. He's ready to go. Like, I just think he's a freak athlete. And I think he's getting into his prime now, right? Like, again, let me not say love. I like Javon Holland, right? But when I think about it, Mike McDaniel just got the extension. Tua, obviously, Waddle here till 2028. There's your foundation. The Dolphins have told you these are guys we identified as long-term plans or for this team, right? The long-term investments. If I'm looking at it, I'm adding Jaelan Phillips to that piece of the puzzle, right? Like, I think Jaelan Phillips for me is a foundational guy, and I don't feel that way for Javon Holland. I'm sorry. These conversations kind of remind me of what we were going to do when we lost Minkah Fitzpatrick. Oh my God, the sky's falling. Well, Chris Grier turned that into a first-round pick and then a second-round pick in Javon Holland. That's one thing he does well is draft safeties. I don't think Jaelan Phillips kind of caliber of player grow on trees. So I'm taking Phillips, bro. For me, I'll be honest, no shade at Javon Holland, but it's not even.
Yeah,
funny, it's not. Even
he's just the other person that's looking to get paid. It's not his fault. But like I was telling, like I was today, and I mean, it's not a trick question. When was the last time somebody said we're only a safety away from making the Super Bowl? Like, we're only a safety away.
Well, we just had a safety.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You could plug in a Jordan Poyer-esque player, leader, and obviously get the job done. Yeah, Micah Hyde. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, obviously, but yeah, I mean, I think everybody would agree that, a pass rusher in his mid 20s, even though he's coming off an Achilles. But let me tell y'all something, man. If y'all don't remember, this is something that me and Tony talked about a long time ago, too. There was a pass rusher who came back from an Achilles tear. He came back early, just like Jalen Phillips. And I would think, well, let me not get too crazy because, the chat likes to burn people, but I think Jalen Phillips has a higher ceiling than this guy. Terrell Suggs. Terrell Suggs was a defensive player. Terrell Suggs, hey, just look at the guy. Just look at the guy. You know what I'm saying? He was defensive MVP. Yeah, he was defensive MVP. So it can be done.
That was the year following
the very next year. The very next year.
Came back, and he came back early. Year, he got defense. Oh man, that's how silly to put on the boy. He never had double-digit sacks, bro. You gonna say,
Hey, listen. Okay, if we're gonna pay you, you better. You better. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't grow on trees. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, show us. You know what I'm saying? Show us.
I'm on the lines with before I do that, I want to address this because I see JR Black said we need the division first, people. I truly believe we're setting ourselves up to be mad at the end of every year. Every year we cross a hurdle towards greatness. We should not skip steps. We on our way. So I agree with you to a certain extent, but which is why I said AFC Championship regardless, because if we don't win the division, right, but we win 2 games, I think that make up for not winning the division because now you're in the AFC Championship game. And if we do win the division, most likely you're going to end up in the AFC Championship game if you get that number 1 seed. Now, you might just be able to get 2 home games, and I see us winning 2 home games way more than I see us not winning 2 home games. So that's why I put it the way I did it. I framed it in the way I said AFC Championship game, because even if you don't win the division, you still have to make, like, we're not accepting that because you blew a 3-game lead with 5 to go. So that's unacceptable. So no, this year, the expectations, it doesn't start over just because you didn't meet your expectation last year. No, bro, you still have to, you failed that year to meet requirements. Our requirements are still elevating. They don't stop there and say, okay, now, that's just like saying, oh, you know what? Once you get 1 playoff game, I'm fine. Then we could work on, no, because once you get that one, now that's finished. They just showed you Sean McVay, 2nd year, he won a Super Bowl. They ain't just win 1 playoff game and stop there. They went all the way to the Super Bowl. They rode that wave. So that's the type of
Jared Goff
that I'm looking for. My boy Jared Goff, that's the type
of
reliable. That's the type of playoffs and that I think we need, a type of run that will be for me. That's what I'm looking for. Like, I'm not accepting none of that other mediocrity. Nah, but we're not doing that. But I just wanted to address that because you had a point, but that's why I framed it the way I did. Now to your question, I hate to do it because it seems like we've been agreeing, but I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Real quick, shout out to Kelvin, man.
Kelvin.
Oh, what's good, Kel?
Oh man, we don't say N-words over here, Kelvin. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not gonna pin it, but what's up, bro?
Hey, but shout out to you, Kel, bro. Showing the love. But yeah, it's a no-brainer, dog. Like who's taking a safety over an edge rusher? Like, Alex, you said it perfectly. You had never said, oh, I'm 1 safety away. No one ever went and got a safety and say he pushed us over the hump. No, but they have went and got edge rushers and say he. Denver, they went and got that boy Von Miller. Okay, he took us 100%. Over the hump. Took that defense to another level. Back in the days, San Fran, they went and got Dion from Atlanta. And then Cowboys went and got him from San Fran. People that impact the game, that could change the game like that. I don't see a safety coming in and be like, okay, that's what we need to get over a hump. But yes, a game-changing pass rusher that the most important position on the field is quarterback, and that's his job to disrupt that guy. Yes, you take a edge rusher, hands down, any day of the week, twice on Sunday, even 3 times on Sunday. I don't care how, but that's a no-brainer, bro. We're not taking
somebody just texted me Troy Polamalu, and I just wrote back, did you see the rest of that roster?
Troy Polamalu pushed them over there. So we could have said Ed Reed then. We just gonna say Ed Reed, like if you really what are we talking about?
Both of those. I'm like, did you see the rest of that roster from
Last
top to
time I
bottom?
checked,
Like,
they had the
Lit
Big
up.
Ben, the Jerome Bettises of the world on that team. You know, the Plesko
I'm
Birds.
a nice
the
guy,
first
so
year,
I'm not
and
gonna put
then,
him on blast.
like, what are we doing, bro? Are you serious? You know,
Yeah.
I hope that ain't who I think it is, Alex. Because
Nah.
okay, I was let me see if I got the attention.
Nah.
All right, but nah, yeah.
But yeah, man. If y'all
But yeah,
got
I'm
anything to
taking
add,
that over there.
Lewis, for
I'm
sure.
good. I'm good.
Good for sure. Hey, listen, man. Great conversations.
Hey,
We're here, man. We're here.
Before you close it out, I want to say again, shout out to the chat. Hey, me and Lewis, Alex, we working on because I believe it was red, white, and blue.
And Bills.
But red, white, blue Bills asked about the ranches. We're gonna start handing them out. You know, I was just talking about Lou to see how we could start doing that to show our day ones some appreciation and for y'all rocking with us. You know, no matter when we come in, no matter what days, you know, we don't even have a set schedule yet, but we tend to still keep our numbers the same or even get better. Show in and show out. So we are going to start showing y'all some support. Yeah. Hey, Alex, you know, before we get out of here, nah, it's already over. I would say we could do a poll real quick and see what the chat think. But nah, we'll do that next time.
No, we're definitely gonna have a poll for the Saturday show. Saturday show will be at midday. Not an actual time yet, but just look out for it. Obviously, you know, we'll let you guys know as soon as we have that. But hey, we made it, man. It's week 1. You know what I'm saying? That Saturday show, that Saturday show, we're gonna break it down, everything, you know, just about this game. It's gonna be exciting, man. We made it. We're here. The season's about to start. All the expectations are up here. I don't want to hear no excuses. I think both of y'all, you know, could agree with me saying there really is no excuse, you know, to not having a great year, man. So obviously, shout out to the chat, man. The chat is always undefeated. Y'all always, you know, keeping us in check and giving us good questions, just trolling. I appreciate all of y'all, man. Obviously, all y'all, you know, keep coming back. So salute to y'all, man. Hey, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yeah, man.
So subscribe, like the page, man.
Oh, wait. Y'all want to make the numbers today or what?
No. Saturday.
The first? You want to do it Saturday?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Saturday. All right, we got something for y'all Saturday, man.
Tony always trying to jump the gun, man. Look at
Hey, listen, man. I'm for the Alex supposed to be for the people, but I'm for the people. You feel me? You for the people. You know, I'm used to jumping on. You feel me? Getting on Lewis' head real quick. But you know,
that's cat.
Lewis,
I'm gonna let y'all have it. All right, go ahead.
He saved all that energy, so you know he gotta let it out.
Crazy, man.
Oh man, but yeah, hey man, salute to y'all, man. It's a Blitz pickup. You already know what's up, man. Tune in on Saturday.
Shout out, man. Everybody.
Peace.